And we're live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kent Quirk. I am here to do some Advent of Code programming. I am a software engineer with about 40 years worth of experience. Because I'm on the East Coast and can't really play in the how fast can you solve it space, since it was solved in the first 10 minutes by people, in California who were awake at midnight my time. I instead focus on trying to do it with a little bit of, if I were writing it semi-seriously. Quick hacks are fun. Early in the session, like probably tonight, it seems like everybody was solving this one with tweet length sort of solutions. But in my case, we're going to spend a little bit of time just doing it maybe in a way you might structure a program for more common use. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is, this is my desktop. So I have my code editor here. I've already set up the project for Advent of Code Day 2. I haven't actually read the problem yet. This is my terminal, and this is the Advent of Code site. And one of the things I wanted to note is that I work for honeycomb.io, which is one of the sponsors for Advent of Code this year. They are a great company doing some really cool stuff, and they have sponsored me and other employees of Honeycomb as part of the deal here. Thanks to Honeycomb, appreciate it. But tonight, let's talk about what we're doing here. So Advent of Code, Day 2. Let's dive in. Okay, literally dive. Okay. The submarine can take a series of commands like forward 1, down 2, or up 3. Oh, lovely. Okay. I like these kinds of problems. Forward increases the horizontal position. So X, the position. Down increases the depth. Up decreases the depth. So down goes lower, and so the number goes up. And the submarine has a planned course, which is a puzzle input. So in this case, our sample puzzle input is this. So I am going to put it into my input sample file and save that. Horizontal position and depth both start at 0. Steps adds 5 to your horizontal position, 5 to your depth, etc. Blah, 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 blah. And then we have to multiply the position times the depth to get our answer. So first thing we're going to do is parse this data. And apologies for my dog being annoying, but he's barking. Okay, so we're reading input sample. And we are going to fail if we fail to read it. And then we're going to read all the data, and we're going to split the data to get lines. And then we can set up our functions. Let's define func day02a, and we'll take a slice of string. Whoops. Okay, so we need to probably the easiest thing to do is to just split on spaces. So Go has strings.split, Yep. So we're going to split a line on space, but first we have to make our for loop. So for underscore L in range lines. Oh. So splits gets strings.split, wait, strings.split returns an array string, slice of string. And so let's define a submarine. Because one of the things about these puzzles is that they often build on each other. So we may need a submarine type hanging around anyway. So let's just do a type submarine struct, and then we're going to give it a position as an int, and because later on we'll probably get two-dimensional, but for now we'll just call it an int, and then depth is another int. And so we're going to create a submarine object and maybe pass it in sub. Oh, actually, all right. Let's do make methods on submarine. So we're going to make day2a as a method. So it's going to be s star submarine. And then we can modify s. And similarly, we're going to do a func report s star submarine, and we're going to report the results. And it takes no arguments, but it returns an integer, which is just the product of so return position times depth. All right, that's my report function, and then we are going to call sub is a new submarine, and our default values are going to be fine. I don't need to do anything else with that. And then we're going to call sub.day2a, and then we will format println sub.report. And that will be our answer. So, oops, 2a of lines. There we go. So that's our main. This is just going to take those splits, and so the easy way to solve this is going to be to just do a switch statement on the first word and then add to the right result. If it turns out later that we have a lot more commands that the submarine can do and we have a lot of things, then I might instead construct functions that operate on the submarine and pass those in. But I think for tonight, I'm just going to do the splits thing. So let's go. Switch on splits 0. Case forward s dot position plus equals Oh, I need to, N is going to be the, N comma air becomes the, strconv dot a to I of splits 1. If error, panic. This is, again, not something I would do in a production code, but I mean, for this, if something happens here, that's bad. So s position plus equals n. Case down is that depth plus equals n. Case up is that depth minus equals n. Default panic of line. We'll just print the line if we happen to have a disaster. And then, so we just do that, and this should just work. So let's do day 2, go run main.go. It should be 150. It says it should be 100. It came out. We got what we wanted. So now we just have to take the actual puzzle input, which is that, and I can put that in input.txt, paste that in, and then go back to main.go and change it to input.txt and run it again. And our answer is 181,815. Okay, so let's go and paste that in here and see if we got the answer right. Hoo-ha, we got it. So great. Let's continue and see where we are. See what they throw at us the second time around. You need to track a third value aim, which also starts at 0. Down increases your aim by X units. Up decreases your aim. Forward by your aim. Okay, so that's day 2. Let's do this. Let's change this to sub 1 or sub A. Okay, so there's sub A, and then let's do the same thing for sub B. Sub B, and that's day 2 stop B, which doesn't exist yet. Oh, and this needs to become a B. Okay. So that's day 2A is that. Now let's make day 2B, which is going to be pretty similar. So we'll just make a copy of this B. Now, but in this world, the submarine actually has an aim, which is an int. And in day 2A, we don't care about aim, we ignore it. But in submarine B, we do care about aim. So down aim increases by n, up aim decreases by n, and forward increases the position by n and increases the depth by aim times n. So s dot depth plus equals s dot aim times n. Now actually they refer to it as x, not n. So I think I'm going to rename this symbol to x just so it's easier to think about. So that's day 2B, and we'll go back to the sample, and the product is 900. So let's go run it again and see. 150 sub B 900. Great. So let's get rid of sample. Save it. And we get the same sub A, but now we get a much bigger number for sub B. And that, I'm hopeful, is the correct answer. Ta-da! We're done. That was pretty quick, pretty easy. Not, real elaborate. I didn't go to, crazy trouble. But if they start doing more and more with a submarine, we may come back to this and build a sub-object that has extra features or an operating system or whatever we need to it. But for now, we're good. So short and sweet, not as short as in some computer programming languages. Could have done this in a few lines of Python, or like I said, some people have done this. One of my coworkers is doing it in awk, and his solution was tweet length. I found that kind of attractive because I once wrote a version of awk back in the 80s. But anyway, I'm done. Have a good time. And thanks again to Honeycomb for sponsorship. Thanks to you for watching and listening. And don't forget to, I'll do the, click and subscribe or do all the things. Anyway, have fun. See you around.